Well, welcome to the channel, Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, walking the dog. Come on, Hank. Thank you for coming in. Here at Gosford on the Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Some of you may be experiencing a breakup or are on the journey through a breakup. You've possibly gotten through the rumination stage. You may have come to the place where you're starting to accept what's happened, why it's happened, how long it took to happen, why they didn't find a solution, what were the solutions and possibilities of fixing things. Was there a halfway mark? Was there a way of making things work despite the circumstances? Could things have been different? How did it work out the way that it did when everything was going all right? Why didn't it flourish when it should have? Excuse me. There's a lot of reasons for this and a lot of answers to this. And a lot of the problems lie in our abilities to be honest and transparent. A lot of people aren't honest and transparent the way they should be. People have needs and they choose someone through which they'll get those needs met, but that's as far as they want to go. They just want to go as far as meeting the needs rather than building a relationship. Sometimes this can be identified as narcissism or some kind of personality disorder, and sometimes it is. People just want their supply from somebody and then they're happy to move on from that person. And that leaves you vulnerable to how much you bond, what your intentions are, what you expected from the relationship and that person, and did the result line up with the agreement that you've made at the start of coming together. A lot of the times people change mid-drift. I call it mid-drift. Because when you start mixing yourself with somebody else, mixing your soul and soulish and spiritual recipes within inside that person and then within inside you, there's a lot going on. The first couple of transactions are just that person coming into you, who they are, what they've got, what they haven't got. Hopefully they haven't got sexual diseases, which is in the physical realm. But then when you look in the spiritual realm, what if they've got unresolved resentments, hurt and pain from abuses, enmeshments with family members, unresolved issues within themselves, drug habits and all this other stuff. That's more of the physical altering the spiritual. You see, people may need drugs and things for their health, for their medical health, but it also has, it alters the soul and the spirit. The desired result alters the soul and the spirit. And that's just a consequence of those ways of dealing with things. And sometimes it's not a choice for people. Some people just have to be medicated to have an acceptable way of life for themselves and the people around them. So There's all variations, all different variations. And so the makeup of that person mixing with the makeup of your person may initially be positive. It may initially have a positive impact and be fruitful for both involved or all involved, but then as the mixture starts to blend, as the two souls, her soul within yours and your soul within her, start to blend, there could be contrary results, like she might get a better result out of it than what you do by way of consciousness. Consciously she really does like you and love you, but on the other hand you might have some conflicts with how it's ended up. And that's why things don't work out all the time. That's why things take time. Relationships take time. The way things develop take time. The way things turn out take time. And we have to be willing to understand that even though we're having a great experience and a wonderful time with that person, that doesn't guarantee that when it all comes out in the wash, that it's going to last. Just doesn't guarantee that it's all meant to be. There's so many variations now that attack relationships and upset them and break them, that you're up against usually more than you can cater to. And this is the way relationships have outcomes. You don't have to expect everything to always work out. Particularly if somebody's causing trouble or they're just negligent in the relationship, familiarity set in, they're not playing a proper part, they've deteriorated, you've just been used as a form of supply. And now you're in conflict within yourself because of the relationship. It hasn't gone the way that you would have liked. Doesn't mean the person's a bad person or you are or anything's changed. With just the dynamic, the outcome of you two being together didn't have the desired results. I remember in one of my relationships, I started the YouTube channel Pro Ricky Exclusive, and it was confronting. It was confronting some of the female behaviour and male behaviour, but at the initial outset it was about dating, and it was looking at female behaviour and how they're just, a little bit out of sorts. And that can be confronting when you're looking at elements of integrity and personal introspection. That can scare people away. For different reasons, for right and wrong reasons. It's not intended to, but as you change or they change, you can drift apart. And this is the cause of breakups. This is why there's breakups. We drift apart, we change our perceptions that may not be good for the person that you're with. They might digress. They might start drinking too much alcohol, or over-medicating or something of this sort. They might go too far with their hobbies and they're neglecting you. They might be in a band and all of a sudden they're on tour and they've got a love interest for somebody else. All these things. Your partner could be working at a club and all of a sudden there's somebody new worker at the club and now they're drifting away with that person. There's no guarantees. People don't care about marriages if there's an outside I've seen, I had a friend of mine whose mother used to work at the Leagues Club. She met a man at the Leagues Club, didn't care about the devastation that it caused on the family. She ran off with the man from the Leagues Club. They worked together. Desire has a way of leading people by instinct, not by moral. And instinct always wins over moral if you're vulnerable to that. And a lot of people are. They're vulnerable to their instincts. And you can fall prey to that. People will... Okay. People mirror who they like. I've had a couple of girlfriends where they were coming off medications and dope and alcohol and things. And then all of a sudden, just as things are starting to build and get closer, and really all of a sudden they're coming over stoned or coming over drunk. Who are they mirroring? Who are they hanging around? You got to ask straight away. They're not worried about what you think. Somebody's on the outside that's influencing them in that way. There's an emotional attachment somewhere that's sabotaging the progress of your relationship. All these things, human nature, changes like the wind if somebody hasn't got an understanding of values and stuff. People will know you, excuse me, like you know them. And you'll have your expectations and they'll have theirs, and yours will be in agreement, and everything could be going for 3, 6, 12, 24 months. And then all of a sudden there's a shift. She might meet a relative of a client. And it all gets too friendly. You've got some issues that haven't been resolved. This person hasn't got any issues with your partner. They become a breath of fresh air. The next thing they're in bed together. The relationship's ruined. This is what you're up against. It's very hard to find people of principle, people of resolve. You'll find if you meet people of principle, you'll meet people of resolve. People without principle are not people with resolve. That's it. Here, I'll just clip him in while this dog goes past. Good boy. Principle and moral and integrity and things, they're hard to hang on to when it comes to lust and desire and the sinful nature. The sinful nature penetrates so quietly and so deeply, people don't even know that it's there, influencing them, destroying them. And it becomes generational, gets passed on. And the patterns of the scapegoat and the golden child and the mother that's enmeshed with the children and children enmeshed with their mother or parents in an unhealthy way goes along. And then all of a sudden there'll be a generation and there'll be a black sheep that looks at the situation and goes, smoke stinks, I don't like it. What are they doing? They're killing themselves. Alcohol doesn't work. These people are falling asleep and they're reckless. They're hurting themselves. Dope's causing accidents and things. And I was a black sheep. I was the black sheep in the family, and I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go a different path. And it paid off. and it paid off sensationally for someone that couldn't read or write. I'll have something to leave for my children. I've always, when I've been in relationships, tried my best to be the best that I can. The people that have been with me have known that. I might be a little bit hard, but it's all for good. It's all for good. And sometimes good just becomes disinteresting for people. Becomes disinteresting. They just get disinterested, and some shiny new toy comes along and off they go. You can't be too harmed with that. Every breakup I have has never been affair related. It's always been issue related. Always. I don't want to break up with people to run off with somebody else. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's just. I think that's harmful, painful, abusive, negligent, and I think you should have a mark on you. I think there should be a universal mark. This person was negligent. This person didn't do what they said. They couldn't follow through with what they said. Good boy. Good boy. Here. Here. Hey, come on. Good boy. Put a mark on them so that you can be wary of. See, anybody can perform at the start. That's just how it is. But when reality sinks in, and as I said, the mixture just isn't there. The ingredients are there, but the outcome isn't the preferred one. That's when we realize, unfortunately, that it's time to move on. If you're being abused, neglected, misunderstood, lied to, abused physically or mentally, and remember, a lot of mental abuse is in the passive form, silent treatment, negligence towards listening, no response when there should be responses. These are all forms of abuse, silent abuse, the silent killers. They're the ones that really hurt, because you're trying to deal with the invisible. You're trying to deal with the silent, and it's too hard. It's complicated, and it's tough, and it hurts. They're the hard ones. But if you're going through a breakup and you're past the ruminating stage, you're having a little bit more calmness in your mind, things are starting to balance out for you, you're starting to come to terms with the justices and the injustices of it. Just know that if you were really trying your best and you were limited, you were robbed, you weren't able to fully invest yourself into the relationship, you were sideswiped, possibly triangulated, and the privacy of the relationship was violated, just give yourself time and be honest. You'll suffer, but at the end of the suffering will ease. Look towards Jesus. I look to Jesus and the beauty of the Creator. Hey, hang on, excuse me. Hey, Hank! Right. Right. Now he's got to be smacked. Come here, please. Come here, please. Now. Here. Come on. Up. Here he comes, look. Okay, sit. 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 Don't run away. Okay? Don't run away. Come on. Come on. Up, up. Good boy. That's how you teach them. So, I hope this has encouraged you. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Remember, if you're in a dark place, it's hard to comprehend the light when you've been hurt, but the light will come back. The light will shine. And it will get brighter, and the darkness will fade. I'm Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Gosford, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.